Ed, I may also
You've spoken
add,
about the sensitization and the bad behavior aspect of it. I wanted to also ask you about the anger against these airlines, and we're joined also by a pilot. We have Wing Commander R. Keskar, and I'll go to him in just a moment. Kapil, if I could get you in on that. Passengers, and again, I want to underline that at no point is such behavior justified. Nothing justifies violence of any kind, and this man should face the full extent of the law. But my question is, anger against airlines where passengers, reasonable passengers say, we don't get notified on time. Airlines are, wary of timely notifications about cancellations or delays because they fear that passengers will drop out of those flights and that'll hit their profits. Isn't that also true, Kapil?
Quickly just add that FAA, to curb the unruly behavior of passengers in a reauthorization bill, could fine up, and this is to be approved, could fine up to $37,000 in case the unruly behavior happens in the flight, and particularly where there are safety implications. So apart from no-fly list, it is important that we get into a financial deterrent, which is very serious if we have to overcome it. Second, I think you are right in many cases, though the airlines and the airport operators are facing an unprecedented impact because of fog. Okay. But yes, I think we could do a lot more on creating a transparent information sharing system. But that's not enough. If you create a transparent and very structured information sharing system, that is one part of the problem. Okay. The second part of the problem is, how do you engage with the customers when you have this unprecedented fog and delays that disrupt not only Delhi, the spoke airports, and almost the entire national network of the airline. So one is the information sharing system. How can we make it very effective? How can we make it rule-based, which is very important? And we heard the minister saying that an SOP is going to be created. But the second more important factor would be that the airlines, the engagement with customer on various platforms, to ensure that...
So communication, transparency as far as information, I think we can agree needs to happen. Wing Commander Kesarkar, if I could bring you in, sir, you've been a pilot. I'm sure, you've had your own share of dealing with unruly passengers. Who do you blame in this, sir? It's easy to look at this and feel very, very upset about the violence by a passenger. But there's a real problem here. Who do you blame, sir?
Good evening, fellow panelists, and good evening, sir. Generally, we can't blame anyone here. What is happening, especially if you see the incident which has occurred, this has occurred during the fog time. So what happens during fog? The flights are, if you take a statistics way back, 5 years, 10 years back, during the month of November to February, the flights are generally delayed, especially in the north and northern belt, because of the heavy fog. And what happens is every airline wants to, push the passengers or push the flight so that he'll be able to connect to the next flight. But what happens because of the heavy fog, the flights are delayed. Now, at times, even the airlines falter is, I would say, I'll take a liberty saying falter in not informing passengers on time. Yeah. So at times, because what happens without knowledge of pilots, OCC, or we'd say commercial staff, at times, board the passengers inside the aircraft. That is little difficult for passenger to understand. And he's inside the flight.
I can assure all of our viewers, only for paucity of time, I have to close the show. And I apologize, Wing Commander, that we got you in late on the show. I would have liked to ask you a few more questions. But Kapil and Wing Commander Kesarkar, thank you for being with me. I assure you that this show is going to be on our spotlight through this week, as we will go into some of the more and more serious issues, and we will not shy away from asking the uncomfortable questions when you see such a ugly video.